one of the things that we talked about is pulling tooling out of a particular manufacturer. However, that may not necessarily be the case in all instances where you want to change manufacturer and your tooling or your the tooling guide, the moldings are very, very good. It's just that the rest of the assembly is having issues. You may be in a situation where you want to change the assembly part of it or everything else, but keep the plastic molding supplier the same because they are actually doing a good job. And I believe that we would be in a situation there where we've seen something similar, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, no, that's true. And sometimes when talk about tooling, we are talking about plastic tools. It can be die casting tool or other metal tools. So yes, definitely sometimes it's more complicated to move and doesn't harm to keep like this. Sometimes it's also different. Most of the time, actually, it's often different suppliers. It's not the manufacturer directly, so it's a third party.
Yeah.
The manufacturer allowed to use them, then yeah, it's easier to use that. Side note, many cases, manufacturers or trading companies don't have a contract with their tooling factory. They are not, if the tooling factory doesn't want to return the tools, even you have a contract with the manufacturer or the trading, then they get stuck here. So they might want to push by using the existing suppliers typically to avoid this situation. So this is also a very important topic, is that you think you are protected because you have a contract with the manufacturer, but if the manufacturer doesn't have a contract with the tooling companies, then you basically end up in a situation. So you can of course go to court or sue the manufacturer, but he will have a problem to get the mold release anyway, and it will take a lot of time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I just want to pick up on if we do actually manage to get the transfer of tooling, no problems, everything is nice and smooth. There's a very, very important step that needs to be taken. You can't just take it for granted that if you're taking tooling from one supplier and putting it into another, into the new partner or a new injection mold plant, that everything's going to work straight away. There's a process that needs to be gone or followed, which is verifying that the tools work. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, exactly. So we had a lot of cases when you transfer the tool that the tools is not at the quality standard we expect, and that's quite harmful because of course we expect customer tell us, oh, we produce a lot like this and so on, but we don't know actually how the production was done. For example, we have cases that the yield of the production is like 50%, which is definitely unacceptable. But then when we collect the tool, we understand why this yield is so low, why the quality, the number of rejects is that high. And because the tool has not been designed in the properly. And so on our side, it means that we not only we need to test it, but also often we need to rework to adjust the tool to make sure it can meet the standards. And that's the case for the first case for the MacBook accessories that we had. We have to rework the tool to fit our quality standard, but the tool was designed more for a cheap production basically, and so the performance was degrading very, very fast. And that's also so part of the process. When we receive the tool, we need to assess it and then see, okay, what we can do about it. Can we repair? In the extreme case, we cannot even repair. We need a new tool. But so far, we were able to manage, but that's a risk. So it's very important to assess the tool properly.
Yeah, that's really important. Yeah, I understand. Because yield is, or a good yield is very, very important. Poor yield is losing money, losing time, and losing everything. So basically, so it's really important that you need to understand if you are going to transfer your tooling, never take it for granted or assume that the tooling will just be able to pick that up and run it.
Yeah,
Because that's
true.
not the case.
Exactly, Paul.
Yeah.
And the yield, something maybe people don't really understand generally. When you say a 50% yield, is sounds on top of the loss of 50%. This is a huge risk statistically speaking. Like one batch can be more than 50% or more, like 70%, and the next batch can be 20%. And 20%, what that means? 20% means that they need to produce 2 or 3 times more to get the same quality, the same result. Which means eventually that the production, instead of being 3 weeks, for example, then will be 6 weeks or 7 weeks, and so on. And that might screw the whole assembly process, delay everything and have inventory problems on your side. So this is a risk we don't realize often when you have a low yield. It's not only the cost, but also it's a risk in the lead time and inventory management.